Hello everyone! Today we're going to take a look at the 3 Sega prize figures that are currently released for the series Konosuba. Now, I'm still crossing my fingers that we'll eventually get Kazuma, but I don't know how high the chances for that will be. So right now we only have Aqua, Megumin, and Darkness released. And I do want to mention that something I found interesting about these figures is that they were all packaged a little bit differently. Darkness and Aqua were very similar in their packaging in that let me show you. They came with this, like, something that I'm used to seeing when it's like a crane prize figure, that it has this cardboard in it, and then you see the character inside, like that. And Megumin was packaged with a blister, which I think is because her design is much more intricate, and I like that the manufacturer took that into account so she wouldn't get damaged. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take out these figures from the packaging so you can see what they look like. So I've already taken all the figures out of the boxes, but I did want to show the differences in packaging. Aqua is already all put together, and here she is, but Darkness and Aqua were packaged the same way, and I wanted to show how they came in. As I showed you, they did have that cardboard around them, as is common with prize figures, cream prize figures, but they came in this bubble wrap. And Aqua didn't come with this clear plastic around her. She was just in the bubble wrap. The only things that came in the plastic like this were her arms and that sort of thing. And she also had, like, it was a little different. Like, her base was its own clear packaging, and this one comes in 2 parts like this. But their packaging was very similar. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put Darkness together and show you how Megumin looks. As I mentioned before, Megumin did come in this whole blister package, so it looks like more of a professional scale figure, but that was done because she does come with more fragile pieces, like her staff right there, and of course her hair and her hats aren't together so that they don't rub against each other and have any sort of damage that way. So that was very neat of the manufacturer to do. And her base is a little different than everyone else's. Megumin has a more personal scale, which is awesome. It has the explosion skill on it, which I think is very cool, and it also says the series name around it, but it's only in Romaji. And I think the space is really nice. I really would have liked it if the other girls had a similar type of base, because now it kind of feels a little strange. Like she could have had something that had her class and some waterworks or something for her class. And since I have her on hand, I want to go ahead and show how Megumin looks like up close. And I do want to mention that these are prize figures, so you want to make sure that when you pick them up, they are for a good price. They aren't top-notch quality. Well, they are very nice, but they're not like scale figure quality, so you don't want to spend like $60 or $80 on them. I got these two for around 1,800 yen each, and I got Megumin for a little more expensive. She was 3,000 yen, and that's a pretty good price. So for her, she's the more popular character, so I kind of expected her to be a little bit more money. Here's Megumin's face, and I think they did a really nice job capturing the character, but you will see some paint defects on the figure. And I think I can probably rub these out, but it kind of looks like she has some sort of like white marks right here. I don't know if you can notice, it looks like it's stained there. I'm gonna see if I can rub that off with water. She has that right there under her arm as well, which is why I haven't put her hand in yet, so you can see that. Kind of looks like it's been scraped, but I don't know. I'm gonna try rubbing that off and see if it comes off. She has that kind of thing all around her figure. It's on this arm as well, as you can see. Thankfully it's not on her dress area or on her shoes. And it's a prize figure, so you can expect some little bit of paint effects. You can see that the paint marks right here. The orange is a bit on the red part of the boot. The bandages look nice though. And the sock right here isn't painted top notch either. There's, you know, a little bit of black where it shouldn't be. Her gloves similarly aren't painted. They're not too bad, but they aren't as clean and crisp as they could be, but they're not bad. The lines on her cape are pretty nice. They, again, aren't the most crisp quality, but I think that they look nice. You can see some molding lines right here on both sides of the cape. There. And oops, let's go back and focus camera. I guess you don't want to, but there's another one like that right here at the edge. There's also a mold line up here on the top of her head. Like so. It's not that big of a deal, and I think they did a pretty good job on her hair. It looks very nice. And the main portion of her dress, I think, is painted pretty well. They made this belt right here like a more flexible plastic, which I actually like because it's a little more, it won't, if you bend it around, it won't break. Like if it was a sturdier plastic, it'd have a better chance, I think, of breaking. And let's go ahead and look at her staff now that we looked at the main figure and the base. Just like the figure itself, the staff has a little bit of paint quality issues, but they're not that bad. As you can see, the yellow stripes around the staff right there. It's coming off a little bit on that side, but it's not too big of a deal. The gem right here is very nice, and I like the color they use on the overall staff. And the same thing with this hand. Just like the other hand, the gloves aren't painted the best. But it's not too big of a deal. As I mentioned, this is a prize figure and it's not too much money. But you can see right there, it's kind of smudgy right there, and it's even a lighter blue because of that smudged out like look it has. And I think the bandages are really nice. The last piece that this figure comes with is, of course, Megumin's hat. And it already has cat hair on it. Jesus, kitty. And I think they did a pretty good job with this. I really like the button details on the hat up there. And it looks like a face. It's so adorable. I love this hat. You can see a bit of a seam line right there, but it's not too bad. Here. And on the other side as well. Has a similar seam line on the other side. The paint on the hat's pretty good, I think. And then the bottom is just, you know, simple and brown. It's grooved a certain way so you can put it on her head correctly. It would have been nice if it was magnetized just so it would be secured a little bit better. But again, this is a prize figure and it stays on there pretty good just by itself. Now let's take a look at Aqua. Just like Darkness, she has this standard white base with no special detailing on it. And she does have some paint defects just like Megumin, but I think that they did a little bit of a better job on her outfit because I don't see those like white stain-like things on them. And I think the lines on her boots are just a little bit more crisper, or a little bit more crisp, I should say, at the top than Megumin's were. Also on her socks, like I don't see that like anything out of place really. If you're wondering, she is wearing underwear, but it's a thong, so you can't see any thing in the back, which I think is probably what Aqua does, or I hope that's what Aqua does. And I think it's really cool because I'm gonna break some boxes up because it's wanting to focus on the ones in the back and not on Aqua. Okay, so they used a different kind of plastic right here. It's transparent anyway for her underskirts, or whatever you want to call this. And I think that's very nice detail. It is translucent and it looks very nice. I really like how they made that stylistic choice. Again, her lines on the lines on her outfit look a lot smoother than Megumin. I do like the paintwork a lot more on Aqua. It's a little bit more professional, but it still has those defects. As you can see, there's some blue kind of right there, and it should probably be white, but it's not that big of a deal. She has some gradient in her hair, so it's lighter blue at the top, and then it gets darker blue at the bottom. I think that's very nice. And again, the paintwork looks pretty decent on this side of the figure, or on this figure anyway. Her face looks very nice. I feel like the mouth has a little bit of pink where it shouldn't be, but that's not too big of a deal. And she has a little bit of a smudge on her nose, but I can just wipe that off. The only really big paint defect that Aqua has is here at the top of her head, where her head pieces are. You see there's some blue, dark blue right there where her hair should be. And it looks like there's some white scrapes right there, or scratches on top of the hair. Other than that, those are her biggest paint defects. Everything else looks pretty solid. Oh, and I didn't mention this, but you probably saw it. She also has that translucent material right there around her collar. And again, I just really dig that stylistic choice. It's so nice. Look at the back of the swoop. I really love how Aqua turned out. Okay, let's look at Darkness. I really like Darkness's pose. It's very sweet and nice, and kind of shy, and she's probably thinking dirty thoughts, but it looks very nice on her. She has a bit of a blush, just like Aqua did, and her expression is very pretty. They did a really good job on the faces for these figures. Her hair pieces. There's a little bit of yellow probably on the edge of the hairpiece. I don't think that's how it is in the series. It's supposed to be all red, at least on that one anyway. So there is a bit of paint defect on that, but other than that, the hair is perfect. Just like Aqua, has some gradient in it, so it's a little bit more orangey toned at the bottom on the tips, but it doesn't have as much gradient as Aqua. She's painted, I think, the best out of these three figures, and I think my Aqua might have just had a bit of a manufacturer defect that not all of them are going to have on the top of her head, but this one is by far the nicest quality of the paintwork. She has shinier plastic on the breastplate, which is very nice. That orange, it makes the orange and the white really pop for it. And it has kind of almost pearl, it's probably pearlescent on the armor pieces right here. It's a different kind of color though. This is more pearlescent, and this is just a shiny white plastic. Again, that's the same kind of pearlescent color right here on the side. And you can see a little bit of white where it shouldn't be right there, but it's not, again, very noticeable. The line work on her is pretty well done. It does get a little shaky in some parts, but it's not that big of a deal. And they did a very good job on her paintwork, as I mentioned. Here's the booty. These aren't flexible plastic, they're harder plastic. Like the underskirt's a bit more flexible, and so is this skirt. Like they're a little flexible at the bottom, and her shoes can't really get them painted wrong because they're just one solid color. Right, let's do a 360 turnaround on all three of the figures. You can get a close look at them and then look at them together at the end. We'll start in order of appearance. Here's Aqua. Again, the gradient on here is very nice, and I really like the transparent uses that were made in her clothing style. Here's everybody's favorite Megumin. And so I really wish that they did the stylistic choice of the kind of explosion skill on everybody else as well. That would have been very cool. But I guess it makes little Megumin is a little bit different when it comes to the love of her skills, so it gives her that whole sort of characterization. And you can also display her without her hat if you so choose. But I really like how the hat looks on her, so I probably won't do that. Oh gosh, she's so pretty. I'm glad I was able to find her. And here is Darkness. Again, I really like her pose. I think it really works for the character. And she has the best paintwork out of all these girls. It would have been nice again if she had like something that was her jaw clasp right here at the bottom, instead of just the standard, you know, Konosuba 2 writing that they have on the bottom, but it's not that big of a deal. It's a prize figure, so you know, they don't have to go all out, I guess. So there they are, all set up together. They are such a lovely set. Again, the only thing missing from this set is Kazuma, and I'm really hoping that Sega makes a PM figure for him as well. They have made guys for that line, so hey, remember that male figures exist as well, Sega. And come on, you can't have Kazuma outside of the cast. He is probably my favorite character in the series. Anyway, I hope that you've liked this closer look and that you're able to find these figures if you're on the hunt for them. I found them all on Mandarake after searching and searching. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!